Now it's time to paint the ceiling in the bathroom. And we'll start out with the shower area. I need to get this done because I don't want to have to do it after the tile is in. So first step is putting on some primer. Alright, the primer coat is done. For some of you who may have noticed that there was a big crack between the ceiling and the wall, I filled it in with caulking because there's going to be a crown mold that goes in there. But it's sealed. It is a shower, so I wanted it to be complete. So let's see what else we're going to do. This funny looking board is the ledge to the half wall that creates the toilet stall. So when I built this, I had the 2x4 pretty level, but it was kiltering this way. So what I like to do is take 2 screws, or however many you need, and screw it down. And you have your screwdriver so you could adjust this minutely. That screw will do it for you. Because I'm going to be putting this down with construction adhesive and it'll be like solid. Perfect. So now I should be able to put my board up here like this. Nice. Especially once you get the construction adhesive holding that flat, it's going to be perfect. You can put a marble on there and it's not going to roll off. Because this chamfer detail wraps around the wall like this, I had to line it up and make sure it wasn't crooked, because then there's a board that goes up the side of the wall. Okay, I didn't have the camera rolling when I cut this little piece, but this is what all the hubbub was about. And that's going to fit pretty nicely. Okay, I don't think I could have asked for it to line up any better than that. Now, let me make sure that that's square with the wall. And I should be able to fasten the whole thing down to the ledge. Now that that's all square and level, I'm going to leave it alone and let that construction adhesive cure. Very happy with the way that turned out. So now that I've got that started, I've continued this detail around the wall, to the back of the toilet stall, and on this stationary wall or solid wall. And then it goes around and stops. See that little detail? Sometimes you gotta make weird little details like that. You do it real good on both ends. I did it on both ends like that. And then it goes between these two pieces. Now always remember to wipe your glue off when you're done. You don't want that stuff drying on there, so you have to scrape on it. And that's exactly what I was looking for it to do. I'm pretty happy with that. I didn't take a lot of footage of this soffit while I was trimming it out, but sometimes you need to put the camera down and pay attention to what you're doing. This is a similar trim detail that we used upstairs. Some of these pieces are not completely attached. I'm trying to make sure all my corners are right and straight, square, everything before I finalize stuff. But we're going to go all the way around the room, in the bathroom as well as the dining room. Well, that concludes this part of the bathroom. Now I need to come in here in the shower stall and do the same thing. But I got all my pieces cut. Everything's laid out. And then these two pieces right here are glued in. Working on putting up this small crown mold detail, and I got that over both of the bay windows at this point. They were too long of a piece to sit there and try to videotape, so I did not record this. But maybe it'll be easier to show you over top of the door frames. When working on crown molding, I find it to be a lot more accurate to use a board rather than a tape measure. So I'm just going to tack this in a couple of times. That way I can maneuver this a little bit if I have to on the ends, but it should be fine. It feels good. So I take this small piece And I put it up here and put the point backwards and I make my mark. And I do it on this side too. That way, all I have to do is make straight cuts. Oh wow, really? Really? That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Let's do this one. I did this upstairs as well. The small crown molding is only for over doors and windows. So what I did, anything between doors and windows, I put a number. Then I called out a number to Papa for each piece and we made a cut list. So this is a chamfered detail. The chamfered edge goes down when I install it on the wall. And we took those numbers and letters. The numbers are for the dining room and the letters are for the bathroom. So let's get these cut to length. So here's the crown mold that's going over the doors and windows. And what I did is made this negative cutout template so I can trace it on my chamfered boards and it should line up. I can't do this very well with the camera. The angle of the camera I'm doing this, I assure you it lines up perfectly. Now I can take my numbered boards and go to each spot and find out which way the angle has to go. So I know it's got to go like this. And then I can come back over to my table and I mark this because this is the chamfered side of the detailed board. And I want to flip that over and make sure that that's lined up right, because believe me, my dyslexia will get me every time. I have double checked all of them to make sure that I had the right direction going on. Now I can run over to the barn where my scroll saw is and cut those nice and neatly. So this is how this little detail is working out. And I put that on both sides of this header. So I made 2 of these profile templates. So let me show you how I'm going to use them. You just put one of them on this side, like this. And the other one like this. And where they overlap is where you make your mark. And then you can come over here. Then make sure that the line is lined up with the edge of the one template. I've already cut one of the ends, so that one's already determined. I just line that up. Line that up. And draw my line. So there is a reason why there's a big gap here. This house is from 1875, so I gave myself some wiggle room so that from one end of the room to the other, I didn't have a problem with squaring up the trim. So I went and cut this piece. Got a nice fit here. Okay, people. The guy that's going to tile the shower is coming tomorrow. And I got everything accomplished that I wanted to accomplish. I realized I was going to have to paint the ceiling again after he left anyway, so I left it. But everything is caulked all the way around the windows. These boards that come down to the floor I can't do yet because the tile floor has to be finished. Couldn't do that because it went all the way to the floor. The ceiling is all caulked inside the shower. I shimmed out with furring strips these walls to perfection as far as being level and plumb. So he should have no problem lining up his tiles. So we'll see how that goes. If you would like to see the next video where the shower tile is installed, please like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to smash that little bell button so you can be notified of other videos to come.
Oh yeah? You're looking at me? What?